Oh, yes. I gotta say, the colors are out there. Fall is upon us, and winter is on its way. I think it's time for the climate to change. What do you think, Chunks? You think it's time for it to... He's eating grass. He's loving life. So, you know, if I didn't have my dog, I don't think I could maintain happiness the same way as I do with him in my life right now. I love my dog. And nothing brings me more joy than to see him running around and just happy. You just see this happiness on his face. Like, and I don't know, you could just tell. You could just tell when your animal's happy. Actually, as a matter of fact, you can tell anytime when someone's happy. You just have to read that body language. But I feel like it's a lost art in today's day and age. Because we've been cut off. We've substituted so much of our natural existence for this. Come! Come! I gotta make sure it's a full moon. And I don't want Chunks to get into a fight with any dog. So, what a good boy. I need you on the right, left. Look at him, so smart. Follow. Hi.
They're very friendly.
Are they?
Yeah, very.
Okay. I just call them back because on the full moons, the dogs usually come after him and attack him.
Oh, really? Oh, no, these two, they love other dogs.
They seem to.
Yeah.
They seem pretty nice. So anyways, we come to the most favorite park for me and Chunks. Look at how beautiful everything is out here. So like I was saying, I feel like body language is a lost art. Like, not too many people pay attention to it, and not too many people acknowledge the power that it actually has. You could see this on your animals, you could see this on other animals. That's why, like, I keep Chunks close to me, especially when it's a full moon out, because he's not neutered, and the moon drives the waters, as they say, right? It runs the female hormonal cycle, right? Look at how clear this is. Not to ADD off here, but look at how clear this water is. It is just so nice. So, look at that mirrored image. As above, so below, as they say. So life is a lot about body language. You know, they say equal action, reaction. Well, if the ability to read someone's reaction is completely unknown to you because you haven't, like, basically, what do we got here? Bezet, Turkish hello. When you don't acknowledge body language, you lose a part of you in the everyday world that we live in. Like, I notice things about other animals that even their owners don't know, because, like, I could see it before it's about to happen. That dog's gonna attack my dog or something silly like that, right? Long story short, I'm making this video because we literally just got off work, and I've been working like 3 or 4 jobs recently, And so I have to work 3 during the day and then 1 on the weekends to keep my word as best as I can without dying of exhaustion. So, long story short, which you hear me say a lot of, the how do I say this now? Like, we literally just got off work. We're taking a few moments out for the park, and the whole point of this video was I love seeing my dog happy. That gives me ultimate joy. Oh look, there's a fish. I squirreled away. Watch, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in. He's right. Can you see it? He's going in and out of the rocks right there. There he is. Does this let me zoom in more? No. He's hanging around oh no, those are ripples. But there was a guy right around this long rock here. Like a fish. What do you think, Chunks? Oh, there he is. Oh, I'm scaring him. He sees me. You can see Man, it's amazing how well fish can camouflage just with those little stripes and stuff that they got. I don't know what that was, but there definitely was a bigger minnow in the river. And we're seeing this river closing this season, as in the water is starting to not flow down here as much. But since the last rain season, I don't know if you can see this, but like from here to here it was deeper, but all of that was rock that moved the entire way. There's even a spot up there, right over there, that you could dive into that was 15 feet deep. And now it's filled with rocks. Man, that river moved so much water. Isn't it crazy that the water was basically right up to about this edge here? That's literally like a 2-foot drop, and it went right across to the other side to about there. That's how much water was moving. Like, you can see this edge here. See this edge of water? Like this edge? That water was right up to there, and that's like 3 feet high there. So it's pretty amazing what water can do. But going back to the topic of, I love to see my dog happy. It's just amazing to me. He lives for this. I had written a Facebook post where somebody was talking about their like dog having anxiety, and she says, but when I get home and let it out of the cage, that set me off. Man, I know it's probably not ideal for everybody to bring their dog to work or with them to work. But to be honest, at this point in my life, I would literally quit my job just to be around my dog more. I don't know why I feel that way, but this dog, like, he's so happy. I enjoy that. I could see what it would be like to have children. I don't have children, but this is the closest thing. Now, what's crazy is that, like, you know, here we are out in the forest. This is such a nice park. I love coming out here. And it's so relaxing. I feel like all of us need to do this in life. Just take time out of your day. Okay, now I'm literally going from one job to the next. And this is only like half an hour to an hour is what he's going to get as a walk. Which is shitty. But at least he's getting that. I've seen people walking their dogs. Man, like they're sitting there with the leash and they're just like, can you hurry up? Why aren't you peeing and pooing any faster? Right? And I'm just like, that's so sickening to me. Because that dog probably literally, he got home, or he or she got home and took the dog for a walk, and it was inconveniencing them that they had to take the dog for a walk. So when I wrote this Facebook post, here's what I kind of said. I can be a real dick sometimes, but I don't want to hold back any of the truth half the time. I'll lay it down the way it should be laid down, or the way I think it should be laid down. It might hurt other people's feelings, but if you look into the fact that a dog can live at max maybe 20 years, let's say, but the Facebook post was between 10 and 15 years. That's what I wrote. Your dog lives about 10 to 15 years if you're lucky, right? Now, if you just do the math and you let that dog out an hour a day for 10 years, look at this. An hour a day for 1 year is 182 hours or something like that. Isn't that insane? 182 hours. And the math is really simple, because when we get into the 15-year mark, I could be messing up the 10 and 15 year. It might have been 10 and 18 years. The dog's life outside of being at home turns out to be 1,825 hours throughout its life. And that got me thinking, I'm like, man, that's just so bullshit, right? Like, our dogs, our animals should be so precious to us, and we should spend every minute that we can, because, a lot of people got mad and started writing all these posts about, you and your dog, they should be happy they're not in a shelter, and it's in a loving home. Yeah, but if you're kenneling the dog for like 8 to 10 hours a day, that's terrible. That's like worse than putting a person in the hole, like, because a kennel is way smaller, for one, and for two, like, just imagine your life. Like, dogs live so fast. It's so unfair. It's like they fast track through life, just, and then all of a sudden they're gone. We need to be a little more aware of that. A dog's life is short, and if a dog's life is short, we should look at that time that we have with them as precious as possible, right? Like, I want to, now after writing that and thinking about it, I want to spend even more time with him, because like, I'm watching the grays in his face, and I just did a bunch of jobs where I didn't really like get any money to like keep going. Like, I'm struggling. And Arden, TFUUUU. Face. I don't get what you're trying to say. Maybe you're trying to hide some kind of message in your writing there, but I'm literally talking about how precious a dog's life is. And like, look at this guy. Most gorgeous animal I've ever seen in my life. And because of him, I have changed so many aspects in my life. I have changed a lot about how I live. And right now, I'm in a moment where he has to kind of deal with the pressure of being around me, right? But like, I'll leave him at home, and then he'll be like, no, I want to come. Like, he'll start barking and like trying to find his way through the door. He's like, you're not going to just leave me here, are you? And so I have to take him with me, right? I literally got the truck that I use right now for work because of the fact that I can put a bed in the back, and it's not a minivan, it's a truck. I needed a truck for work. I had some circumstances happen where the minivan got taken from me, and I was blessed enough that I had this truck sitting by that I was working on getting running, and now that's what we drive. We travel in this truck everywhere and do all the jobs out of this truck. And he has his bed in his back, he's comfortable. Chunks is living the life. So, you know, now we get to like go out and love life together. And the whole point of why I was making this video was because I was saying I love seeing my dog happy. And we were talking about body language, we were talking about a few things. And now, living life with my dog has really opened my eyes. It's opened my eyes in a way that, like, he's not going to live forever. And that really, like, saddens me to think about, that there's going to come a day where he's just not going to be here. And I want him to have puppies before that day, because at least that way when he passes, there's something to keep going. He's such a smart dog. He's amazing. And I haven't had people in my life that are as good as this dog. So I'm making this video because, you know, here we are. We're basically taking some time out of the day to go for a walk. And now we're just enjoying this moment, right? But at least the acknowledgement that a dog's life is short. So take time out of your day to take that dog out, or that whatever animal you have, because it's got to be shitty to be locked up in captivity. I tried pressing the flip button and it just kicked everyone out. So it's got to be shitty to be locked up in a cage all the time, right? I spend as much time outdoors with the dog as I can. But here's the interesting part about that is, okay, I spend all the time outdoors with the dog as much as I can. Like, look at him. Yes, you beautiful thing. What are you doing? Look at this guy. He's like, oh, I'm going to walk through the water. It's icy cold. They don't think about that. Look at him. Look at this guy. I love him so much. Oh, I got wet. Thank you. Thank you, my beautiful thing. Oh, now I'm getting more wet. So we gotta take our time, because even our lives are short, right? Together our lives are short. We gotta make the best of it. You know, I spent the last 3.5 years working on this project, and it wasn't just one thing, it was like several things. And all I ever got was complaining and like, oh, how long is it gonna take? But they don't want to spend any extra money, you know, they just want me to do it for basically free, and then, you know, and then tell me that I don't do anything. Like, man, I left my last relationship because somebody said that to me. And now here we are at the end, after I've been used to get as much out of me as possible and really not get paid for it. Like it's funny, because when you have these conversations with people that are trying to prove a point that they have no actual validity, you know, when I said, like, I got paid peanuts, and they're like, well, no, I paid you. You got to admit I paid you. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I can admit that, right? Like, why? They want me to justify that for them so they can feel good about themselves that they didn't take advantage of me. But like in the long run, when I look, I haven't done anything for the last 3.5 years, and this is my fault. This is my fault, because I should have said, nope, taking a weekend off. Oh, but what about the well, taking a weekend off. That's the way you have to be with your life. Because you're not going to get, I'm not getting today back. If today's gone, that's it. It's gone forever. Never getting it back. So take your time, man. Like, money is not everything, because you know the way these bastards go about changing the rules while you're playing the game. The game was in the beginning that, you know, the husband only had to work and the wife could stay at home to take care of the kids. But they did a good little like flip on us, and they started devaluing the currency. So like the amount of dollars you work for don't equate to as much as you as don't equate to the same value as it used to be back in the day. So now here we are in 2025, living in Canada, and everything is retarded expensive. And you know what the best part of this is? I predicted this back in like the 90s when I got out of high school and we went to Guatemala. I remember going to Guatemala and I could take a Canadian dollar and basically turn it in for 10 of the Guatemalan dollar, which is called a quetzales. I would get 10 to 1 on a Canadian dollar. Think about that. And people would live like that. I was like a king there, right? Because I could literally buy whatever the heck I wanted. And this is how they switch the game on everybody, right? So they're really, what they're focusing on now is devaluing currency in order to buy up everything, right? If not, you're going to need $110 billion to do anything, right? And that's what they do. That's the game they play. They take the value of your labor and they turn it into nothing. And so even if you saved all your money, you may be able to strive for a period of time, but at some point you're going to run out. And then there are those people like the Elon Musks and the Bill Gates and the Trumps, and you know, they created all their wealth. Now they got billions upon billions of dollars, and they're going to use those billions and billions of dollars to enrich themselves more. Where the guy like you and I, we would have to struggle to get any farther, because you get trapped in this like vortex, right? Oh, what are you doing? You going for a little swim there, gorgeous thing? Look at him. Where's he going? So, take the time that you have and enjoy your life. Because I'm telling you, the most valuable currency that you'll ever have in this realm, in this life, which I'm going to get onto another point right after I say this, is time. Even though time doesn't exist, but let's just call it the moment. Living in the moment. So when we live in this moment, we're never getting this moment back. So you got to do what you got to do, man. Like, we're not getting... He's in there. Oh, there's a little swimmer there. Whoa, is that the deep end? Well, at least we know. We don't have to bathe. Look at you, you're soaking wet. You know, and this dog's just like what he loves to do. He'll sit and chew, rip apart logs, and I bet you he dreams about this. Because you'll see a dog sitting there. He'll be doing all this kind of stuff, and they're dreaming. That's what they're doing. Anyways, get back on the topic. They devalue our money. You're never getting this time back. And I said I was going to say something more on the lines of how we need to be more aware of what we're doing in the moment. Enjoy the moment as best as you can. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Because in the end, we're all going to end up here. We're all going to end up in the same place. And what I find really crazy is if you pay attention to a lot of these like spiritual or religious texts that they go around saying, you know, everything good is coming for you in the next life. I think that's the game. That's the distraction, because that's the lie. Everything that you need is right here in this life, in this moment, right now. And there is no other like time than now to enjoy your life. You know, like, go out, live your life. You never know, you might wake up or not wake up tomorrow. Wouldn't you have wanted to have lived for today as best you can? I know that my joy right now comes from my dog. And I really don't see, or maybe I don't acknowledge, or maybe I haven't come to that realization in my life. I don't really see any other way of being happy right now. Like, if I didn't have my dog, I don't know where I would be. You know, like, he makes me so happy. And there was a point where, like, when I first, what is this, deer droppings? Look at this. There's either deer or rabbit droppings. I can't remember a time where, aside from training in Muay Thai before my body got messed up, but I feel like everything happens for a reason. And I feel like the reason was for me to experience life the way it is, so that I can enjoy this time with my dog, where I used to not like do stuff like this. Like, I loved being in the woods and stuff, but I was always by myself. And now I have this dog that I just go on little adventures with. My goal is to get a camper and travel as much as I can with this dog all over Canada, to kind of, like, you know, give him that full life, right? Like, what else do you do? It really saddens me to think about it. But I can't let it sadden me, because I still have now with him. And the most important thing to think about right now is what I can do with him now, in these moments. Like, this makes him happy, I'm happy. And I gotta do more of it. More and more of it. That's all I can do. I can't get back any of the time we've lost, but I can make damn sure that the time moving forward will only be better. Right? It's up to me. It's up to me to make his life good. And I said I'll give this dog the best food I can give him. And I started cooking for him. I stopped eating garbage because of this dog. I started eating better because of this dog, because I was feeding him garbage. Right? I'm guilty of that. A lot of us don't even realize that the dog food companies, why do you think all dog food's brown? Right? Question it. Ask why, always. Always. Even when you're searching within yourself, ask why. Why do I feel this way? Why are my thoughts this way? Why is my life this way? And really, when you ask that question, what I want you to do is actually examine it word for word, right down to the core, and become vulnerable to the point where you realize that maybe the real reason why you like something isn't because you like it, it's because you were programmed to like it. And the same thing happens when for instance, we're getting dog food advertised to us. Do you think that the dog cares what the package looks like? They put all that shit on the package to get us to buy it for them. But it's garbage. The shittiest food you can give your dog is any kind of kibble. I don't care what anyone says. The reason why it's all brown is because it's incinerated ash. Right? Look. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. The dirt is brown. So, I had this epiphany way back when I was kind of like making this change from dog food to regular food. I thought about it. I'm like, well, what happens if I just feed the dog, if I take whatever money I spend on the dog's food and I put it towards our grocery bill. So I would take that $140 and I would invest it in stuff that I got at the grocery store. Not saying the grocery store is the best place, but it's better than feeding your dog just dried nothing. Right? Like, I'm guilty. I still give him a little bit of kibble now and then to supplement the food. But like, I'll cook a meal. Like the other night we had roast with peppers and carrots and parsnips and cabbage and what else was in there? Cabbage, there's another one in there, kohlrabi, a bunch of vegetables, right? And then I slow cooked everything so that I had food and he had food. And I know he can eat that food because I've researched all of this. And looked it up, made sure that it was all good for the dog. And I started feeding the dog like this. That's how I made the switch. Right? A lot of people, I don't have the time. Well, if you have time to eat yourself, or don't have time, you better make some time. Because there's no reason why you or your dog should be eating garbage food. Now, going back to all this, I changed his diet. I stopped feeding him kibble because my last dog, my Doberman, died of cancer and all he got was kibble, which was bullshit. That, like, they advertise it as 100% healthy, all this crap, right? And then my dog gets cancer somehow. So you're telling me you're getting me to give my dog a controlled meal that's supposed to have all the nutrients it needs to live a nice, normal, healthy life. And then it gets cancer and dies. I don't know. It's kind of bullshit to me. Like, so I entrusted my dog's life. I gave you my money so that you could kill my dog with cancer. So my dog died of cancer. And then I got Chunks. This guy that I'm making the video about. This beautiful animal, the most gorgeous thing in the entire world. Where is he? So I got Chunks, and I look at him. I'm so happy when he's happy. Look at this guy. Can I see you over here? Can I just need you to stay. I want people to admire the magnificence of this. I told you to stay, didn't I? Back up. Back up. Look at me. There he is. So because of this dog, my life has changed. Because of the love for this dog, my life has changed. Go. Go play. I don't know why it does this every time. Like, I'll flip back and forth the cameras, then it'll just shut off whenever it wants. right? Because maybe people don't want to stare at my face the whole time I'm talking. So maybe YouTube should figure out a way that I can cycle back and forth from the camera so I can make my videos a little more entertaining instead of just staring at this face. I want to show my dog and I want to show the nature that we're all in, right? So back to the food. Because of him, I changed the food. Right now I'm giving him, and it's such an oxymoron, I'm supplementing some kibble just because like funds are tight, right? Usually when funds aren't tight, I have a bunch of food stored up and saved up, like ground beef, tuna, some steaks, and then vegetables always to supplement that. So right now I got this dog food, which he kind of liked. You know, they use the name to kind of grab you. It's called Nature's Choice. Or Blend or something like that, but I think it's Nature's Choice, to be honest. When I thought about it, I'm like, man, when has anybody ever seen kibble in the wild, right? Or in nature, for that matter. Crushed up, like literally, we walk by deer poop. We walked by deer poop back there, and that looked like it had more nutrients than the dog food I'm giving the dog. Oh, it's just a filler product. It's not good for them. But since I changed Chunks' diet, when he was a puppy, he used to have red nails. He was itchy all the time. He had allergies. And I feel like these companies create this for that to happen so that you buy other stuff to kind of get the full effect that you're supposed to get from the first product. Oh, wow. Now that sounds a lot like the system we live in, the medical system, the food we buy and eat. Why is everything that we eat, if you look at the barcode and it starts with a 4, it's genetically modified and sprayed. If it has a 9, it's organic. If it's a 3 in the first number, then it comes from a different country. Why is that even a choice in the grocery store? Would you like poison or more poison? And why should you have to pay extra to eat healthy? That makes no sense to me. Especially with the fact that, like, you know, we put in place thy government to work for the people, and yet now the people are slaves to the government. So, I don't know, that doesn't make any sense to me either. But yet they keep wanting our hard-earned money and labor, and yet costs keep going up. So, I don't know. If I was a contractor, which I am, and I build stuff, and if I get a job building something, for instance, like a house, and we agree on a price, okay, it's like $19,000 to build this house. And then I just like, out to lunch, like if I made it double, like it was another $19,000 on top of the $19,000, people would fire me. They would fire me on the spot. But like when it comes to the people that are supposed to do the best for us, we just go, oh, just put them somewhere else. They don't get fired. None of this changes anything. We still have the same system in place that doesn't work. And they keep telling us, oh, just keep voting for all these other people who don't have our best interest. They have their own best interest in their minds, but they definitely don't have ours. Like, I don't get how things just keep getting worse and worse and worse. And yet the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing to expect a different result. And here we are, allowing them to keep doing the same thing to expect a different result. They just keep going into the bank vaults, taking all the hard-earned money, and then even money is just an illusion. It's an illusion of value, when the real value comes from the time you have with your kids, your dog, your friends, your loved ones. And here we are, full circle. And this is the value right here. Taking time out of your day to go and do the things that you want to do. This dog needs a walk every day. And it should be a 2-hour walk every day. Maybe he'll have 3,000 hours by the time he passes that he has spent not locked up somewhere. And you know what? Nobody should be locked up. Unless you're a complete menace to society. But who's to judge that? Right? When they've created all the atmospheres for these things to be an issue with us. So, follow. Here we are, Loving Life, Dr. Chunks, Texas Mickey Jack. I know this sounded very ranty, but we need to think about these things, right? You can't keep hiring the same shitty friggin' people. And the problem is, a lot of people are easily swayed by money. I'd say vote Dr. Chunks for Prime Minister of Canada. Jesus, I bet you he'd be way better than half the people that are in office nowadays. Like, what would we pass first, Chunks? I'd be the interpreter. We would pass multiple dog park law. It's mandatory to walk your dog every day, 2 hours. The next thing Chunks would pass as Prime Minister would be, and this is just me reading his thoughts, by the way. The next thing Chunks would pass as Prime Minister is the 4-hour work day. Everybody in Canada is only allowed to work 4 hours. Right? Because you gotta spend 2 of those walking your dog somewhere. So maybe that's a 6-hour work week, but 2 of them is for walking your dog. And that people will actually be able to live on a salary as opposed to struggle. You see, because the whole point of the struggle is to keep you constantly occupied so you don't ask any questions. So you're not like, what's going on? Because you got no time to say what's going on. When disaster strikes, then what are you focused on? Disaster. I heard this monk guy, his name is Shi Hung Yi or something like that. And he said, when you are healthy, you have many problems. But when you are sick, you only have one problem. And that's to get healthy again. So if we could just like run the country in a way where everybody's healthy. It's mandatory for you to be healthy. Let's ban all the shitty foods that are cooked in the crappy oils. Like all you'd have to do is you, like mandate the fact that, oh no, you can't use seed oils anymore at high heat to cook your fries. You should use coconut oil. Maybe people don't like the taste. We'll have to find something else that is good at high heat, that doesn't turn rancid and doesn't have problems in your body, right? But the only way to do that is to actually make some kind of change, and we can't make any change in this world we live in if we keep doing the same thing. You know, they want to talk about all these problems with like pollution. Well, how much pollution do you think is caused by war? Let's just say any kind of war, thousands and thousands of acres of land get wrecked. They're using uranium rounds to like destroy the enemy. And maybe the enemy is really the one who's pointing the finger at the next guy. Right? We're all inhabitants of this earth. Let's think about it like this. We're all inhabitants of this earth. So who is the one who did this? Look. Who was the one who was like, drew the line in the sand? Right? There's the line. You're on that side. Ooh. And we are on this side. Who created the borders? Right? They talk about one world government and all this stuff being bad. Well, I think, yeah, because it's the government. They haven't done their job in however long they've been in power. People are still broke. They still have shit education. They still have shit food, shit water. And only because there are those in high society that are like, well, we are the only ones allowed to have the clean water. And we will be the ones who decide whether you eat or not. As long as that exists, we're forever broken as a people. Well, the only way this can ever change is if we, the ones who help create all of this, because it's the people that aren't of the 1% that helped create. Like, how many people do you think were the 1% that created this truck? Right? It was the 99 who built it, right? Not to mention this is a 1999 Ford F350 7.3 diesel. One of the best trucks ever made. Best on fuel, right? Like this truck is a dually. It's like almost 7,000 pounds. And it gets better fuel mileage than a new vehicle. So how is this? They stopped making it because they're like, oh, it's so bad for the environment. I don't think running more fuel through your truck is better for the environment. I don't care how much fancy liquids you put in or how much like deletes you do. Listen to that engine. It couldn't get any better, right? It's like that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with something called one of these things just doesn't belong here. Not common sense. And you know what's so common about common sense? Is it ain't common. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to this rant, but I'm gonna have to cut it short. We gotta get to the next job. I took way too long. We did an hour and a half walk today, Chunks. Because it might have even been 2 hours. Because we left work at 5 and we came straight here. So I'm glad he's happy. I'm happy he's happy. And I'm happy that you guys were watching. I'm also thankful that you guys liked, shared, and subscribed. And don't forget that the more you guys comment, the happier our lives become. Because I want to interact with the viewers. Thank you very much for watching. Texas Mickey Jack here, loving life, living life. Ladies and gentlemen, you have yourself a great day. We're off to the next one. Until next time. Bye-bye.